Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. I think this is episode 16 of the Around the Leagues podcast with
Boy, we haven't got canceled yet. Woo! Let's
apparently not.
go. Let's
We
go.
took a break this week and we had a little fun podcast, had some of the boys on. But
Go
we're
check it
back.
out if you haven't.
Yeah, go check it out. We'll I guess it'll be on our socials and stuff like that. But
Sure.
we got a big week this week. It's
Ew.
finally draft week. We've been waiting. There's finally something in the world of sports that we can cover. So that's what we're going to do today. I guess since there's not a whole lot going on, we can kind of dedicate this solely to Thursday night's NFL draft. Starts Thursday night, I believe, at 8 Eastern, I think. And then it should run until about 4 in the morning because of the technical issues they're going to have. 'Cause they've already had stuff in their practice and stuff like that. So that'll be fun.
Sure.
And Friday night, I think it's 7 to midnight is what it's scheduled for. And then Saturday they go rounds 4 through 7, starting at noon, and it should go until about 7 or 8 o'clock that night. So
I respect
got
it.
a big weekend ahead. I'm ready for it. So
Yeah, as you should be. This is kind of your biggest week of the year, ain't it?
yeah, it is. I mean, it's
Yeah.
as good as it gets for me. So
Yeah. So, guys, welcome back to Around the Leagues, your favorite podcast. We're glad to be back. Episode 16. I'm your co-host, Keenan Ostap, Mr. Holding It Down. You feel me? Before we start, a big congratulations is in order for our co-host, Luke Harris, hitting 1 million total views on the Viking Age. We'll
that is
post
true.
it.
Yeah.
We'll post his profile down in the comments down below. You can find him on social media at Luke_Parrish_NFL. Go check out some of his material. The boy hit 7 digits, man. Congratulations. We looking forward to you hitting 8 digits soon, man.
Yeah, thank you. So I had what was it? My Vikings mock draft would have come out. What's today?
Monday, 21st? No, Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday, 21st. Yeah.
So I think it came out Sunday morning at like 6 a.m. or something like that.
Yeah.
And then as of today at noon, which was the last time I could check, it was up to like 245,000 views, I think, is what we're at. So
Ooh, there we
that's
go.
what we've had so far. So hopefully people like it. I don't read the comments because I always read the comments in like the first 10 minutes because I want to see who clicks on it and doesn't actually read it. I get a kick out of it, but I just can't go back because too many people just don't pay attention. So they got a bunch of old guys talking about how. If I have to read one more goddamn comment about the Big 12 doesn't play any defense, I'm going to lose my mind. We get it. You don't think the Big 12 played defense 5 years ago, but that's not the case anymore. Oklahoma got to the semifinal because they had a somewhat decent defense. TCU was a tough team to beat because they had a good defense. Texas is respectable because they have a good defense. It's a lazy take, but whatever. I don't care about it. But
we talking to him today. We letting them know.
Yeah, they can. I mean, when the Vikings draft a dude out of TCU or something, and everybody bitches about it, they can take it up with me once the guy proves to be a stud. So
Let's go.
I'm really not worried about it. I can debate this all day. People were like, "Oh, Big 12 gives up 40 points a game." Outside of Kansas, I don't think anybody in the Big 12 last year gave up 30 a game. So, and Kansas was bad. So, yeah, they're going to give up 30 a game. And you're also playing the best offenses in the country. So, yeah, they're going to give up points. It's just how it works. But anyway,
1 million views for more hot content like this. Go check them out at the Viking Age. Make sure we get those plugs in. You feel me?
Yeah,
got to pay the bill somehow. So.
Yes, sir. You're telling me I need that money. So
today, as Luke said, we're gonna be doing some NFL draft coverage. Way we're gonna start, Luke's gonna give us his entire. This is a treat. Never done this before in Around Leagues. He's giving us his entire first round mock today. He's also going to go into a little bit of detail on which trades might happen Thursday night, which teams could move up, which teams could fall back. And then near the end of the podcast, we're going to go on to DraftKings, and we're going to check out some of these prop bets for this upcoming weekend. First time people have been able to have any kind of content to wager on in probably about 6 weeks. So we'll go through some of that, try to find some of the best value, might try to make some of our listeners a little bit of dough. So without further ado, we're going to get into it. Luke, Who is first off the board on Thursday night?
Yeah, this has been a pretty common pick, pretty easy pick since, I don't know, January probably. Joe Burrow.
Minus 10,000 odds. So
yeah, I mean, Cincinnati's going to stay at 1. They're going to take Burrow. And he's not going to necessarily turn them around because I don't think they have a lot of turning around to do. They were a competitive team just 2 years ago. But he's going to get them back to where they can be respectable in the AFC North. I mean, I like Burrow. He rose obviously drastically between the end of his 2018 season. He was kind of a day 3 guy coming into the year, just kind of a project guy. And then he just took the league by storm. I guess the country by storm, not the league, but became one of the best young quarterbacks. And then, unfortunately, the stuff that happened to Tua that knocked him out a little bit. And it was a relatively weak quarterback class. Joe Burrow climbed all the way to the top, and he's the number 1 guy. Pretty clearly, I think, for me. But I think it's a pretty easy pick for the Bengals to make. I think they're going to field offers, but I don't think there's any way they take any. But that's one of those where if you pass up on Joe Burrow, you better be damn sure he's going to suck, because if he doesn't, you're in for a shitstorm. So got to take him. Got to bring him in.
Sure.
Let Andy Dalton go, but we'll see what happens. Number 2, Washington. This has been a pick that has been mentioned in different trade talks, but I think they're going to stay in there. They're going to take Chase Young, edge out of Ohio State.
Minus 2,000.
Yeah, pretty easy. He's probably he's the number 1 player in the class. It's not even close, if I'm being honest. He's almost as perfect of a grade as you can get on a prospect. I think I gave him a 99.9. I mean, he's at the same level of Von Miller, Myles Garrett.
Disrespecting him with that 0.1 there, aren't you?
I haven't seen a perfect prospect yet, but he's about as damn close as you're gonna get. So
I mean, what else does he have to do to get that extra 0.1 on the grading scale?
I mean, there's just, I don't know, be more efficient against double teams. I mean, it's not a lot, but
sure,
it's
that's fair.
It's not his fault that he was getting double teamed, but like he was. I mean, his production was low in the college football playoff, but it's not like he wasn't getting pressure. He was just getting double teamed, triple teamed, and that in itself is making a big impact on the game. But it's just people are going to look at it and say, "Oh, he didn't have the production," which is a dumb take, but whatever. He's the best player in the class. Washington's going to get him and have the best front 7 in football, so they can live with that at 2. Lions at 3 is where everything gets really interesting.
Now, I was going to say, before we go into this, but the picks, this is the last overall pick bet. Nobody's in the minus here. There's no clear-cut favorite for number 3.
Yeah. Who's number 1? Is it Okudah?
It is Okudah at minus 10. The second best odds, Derek Brown at plus 400, and then Justin Herbert plus 450.
Okay, so yeah, it looks like Okudah's probably the guy that's going to go here. He's probably going to end up with Detroit, whether they stand at 3 or if they want to move back a little bit, because there is talk that the Chargers want to jump the Dolphins to get their quarterback. Lions would just drop back 3 spots, probably still get Okudah there. But there were rumblings today that I saw on Twitter and stuff like that they were interested in Derek Brown, the defensive tackle out of Auburn. I don't like that pick for them just because Jeff Okudah is a playmaker right out of the gate, and you just lost your number 1 cornerback, one of the top 5 corners in the NFL.
Yep,
Darius Slay. If you have to replace him with pretty much an elite prospect, you've got to go get him. Okudah is as NFL ready as you can hope a cornerback is coming out. So, yeah, he's going to go high, but it's very much worth it. You've got to go get him, and I just don't think trading out of that's not a bad idea because you can get so much probably in return. If a team really wants to go up there and get Tua or Herbert, then yeah, you take that and you slide back a little bit, and you still probably get Okudah or maybe C.J. Henderson if you want to go that direction. But you got to stand there. You got to take Okudah. He's a can't-miss guy in my opinion, but we'll see what happens.
All righty, number 4.
Another interesting one. The Giants are all over the place. They need offensive tackles. History suggests that they're not going to take one. Dave Gettleman just doesn't like to take offensive linemen. He likes to go big guys in the trenches so they can go defensive tackle. They've also apparently done a lot of homework on Justin Herbert. So do they take Herbert and move on from Daniel Jones? Do they use that as a smokescreen and go get whoever they want and try to force somebody else to trade up? It's a whole mess. The Giants are a shit show of an organization right now. Sorry, Caleb. It's just the truth.
Who does he want drafted?
He wants offensive linemen, I think. I think
Okay.
he wants him to take one of the top 4 offensive tackles, whoever it may be.
Sure.
But for that, I think they take Isaiah Simmons. Maybe the best defensive player in the draft. It's either him or Okudah for me. You can't really go wrong. I think Simmons is just more versatile. He can play slot corner. He can play outside corner. He can play deep safety. He can play in the box. He can play off the edge. He can do whatever you want him to. He's got size, speed, length. He can hit. He can cover. He does it all. And the Giants could really use that kind of weapon because they don't really have a leader on defense anymore. Their defense got really old really fast. About 1 year at a time, if I had to guess. That's usually how age works. And then, but yeah, they need a difference maker on both sides of the ball. They've already got Saquon. They've got Sterling Shepard on offense. Yeah, they can protect Daniel Jones, but I still think they can probably find the defensive tackle or an offensive tackle, at the top of the second round or trade up. So give him Isaiah Simmons and hope he can come in and immediately make your defense at least you have to game plan around him. You can't just go out there and know you're putting up 40, drop
true,
and just decimating them. I mean, they were just so bad the last few years. But
that's true. So you're going Isaiah Simmons at 4 then?
Yeah.
All righty. That brings us to pick number 5.
Here's my least favorite pick of the draft so far, and probably here for a while, is Justin Herbert to the Dolphins.
Ooh, okay.
He's taken over as a number 2 quarterback for a lot of teams just because Tua hasn't been able to get that medical clearance and that assurance that teams are looking for. So they're going to want to go towards Herbert, even though he's just a tall Jake Fromm in this class. He was a starting quarterback for 4 years at Oregon and never really improved his game. He's got the NFL arm. I think I've got him compared to, and in terms of current NFL quarterbacks, he's a mix of Jared Goff and Mitch Trubisky for me.
Ooh.
He's got the good arm and the mobility, but his decision making and his ability to process reads are just horrid right now. And he hasn't shown that improvement over 4 years. And maybe NFL coaching can change that, but if you put him in Miami, his expectations are going to be high. He's going to have good weapons, and he's not going to have an offensive line. So I just don't know if it's going to work out for him.
Well, I was going to say Miami. That this is a big year for him. They got a chance. If they can hit at pick number 5, that division's wide open.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously the Bills probably the favorite in that division right now. New England, they might be a 4-win team this year. I mean, if they're gonna make a splash, this is the year to do it.
Yeah, and the same with the Jets. The Jets are up in the air. They could go 7-9. They could go 11-5 if they hit their schedule properly. If they can run through it, if they win the games they need to win. But I just don't know. I like Herbert as a developmental piece. I think I finished grades earlier this morning. Finalized him. Not going to touch him again. Herbert dropped. He's my number 50 overall player. And my number, I think, 4 overall quarterback. So there's a lot of concerns with him, but he has the tools. I just don't think you can play him in the NFL right now. But if he goes to Miami, he's going to be expected to start right away. Sure. If you're a top 5 pick, you're not going to sit. So hopefully he goes somewhere that they can use him like Mahomes did, where they can sit him on a veteran, let him kind of understand the process and going through reads and stuff like that. But playing him out of the gate is only going to hurt his confidence, which he's already been a confidence guy. They've already been saying they don't think he has what it takes to be a leader in the NFL. So if you put him in a tough position and he fails early, it's just going to make that worse. So
Sure.
I'm not super high on him. And then next pick, Chargers, Tua. Chargers don't have to move up. Well, I guess I should say, if you haven't caught on, I didn't do any trades in this mock just because it's almost impossible to predict who's going to trade, what they're going to give up, stuff like that. So I kept teams where they are, but we'll go through them later. Chargers are a candidate to move up or down. If they don't want a quarterback, say they want to still stick and go get Cam Newton, they can draft offensive tackle here. But my gut's telling me they're going to go quarterback, whether it's Herbert or Tua, whichever one's available at 6. They're going to go get him, and for this, they get Tua. He's going to look sick in those brand new jerseys they got. He can rock it out on the West Coast. Good weather, good receivers, good defense. It's just like he's back at Alabama, and he could. I mean, if he's healthy, you can play him right out of the gate. You can play him as a rookie, and I don't think it's going to slow the team down. I mean, it's going to be very similar. And I guess this is something you could think about. He's got a very weird throwing motion. Obviously, he's left-handed, so that's going to be different too. But he has like a very low release point. He kind of drops his elbow awkwardly. That's that's very similar to Phillip Rivers. So it's not going to be that. I don't think I think it's something you can consider when you're looking at the Chargers receiving corps. Maybe they don't have that big of a concern with his arm and with his kind of play style because they've seen it before.
Sure.
So I guess I just thought of that. So that could be something that can make a difference for him. So I'll take Tua at 6. Why not?
All right, I like it. Pick 7.
Pick 7, the Panthers, another trade spot. Could move up, I guess, if they wanted to go get Tua. I don't think that's going to happen, but they're also a huge trade back spot because the Jaguars at 9 want to move up. The Raiders might want to move up and secure that they get their number 1 receiver because they have 2 first-round picks. They've got a ton of picks in the top, I think, first 3 rounds. So if they want to go get somebody, they can go get them. Buccaneers can move up for tackle. The Broncos can move up for receiver. Falcons have already said they want to move up. Panthers are in a really good spot because if they don't like their value, they can move. But for this, I'm going to give them Derek Brown, defensive tackle out of Auburn. I'm not that high on him. I think I have him in my 20s or maybe early 30s. But I think it's pretty clear that he's going to be a top 10 pick in this draft. So they need help all over their defense. They've lost Luke Kuechly at middle linebacker. They've got a really young defensive line. They've got Brian Burns now coming off the edge. Why not just give him a little partner in crime, go with Derek Brown and have a big old eater up the middle? And he's a good pass rusher for a defensive tackle, which you don't see a whole lot. So they can make it work.
Hey, I respect it, man. I respect it. Number 8.
Number 8, the Cardinals. Whew. Kyler Murray said he wants CeeDee Lamb because he played with him in college. I'm going to give it to Jedrick Wills, though. They need to get offensive tackle. They need to protect Kyler. He's not a very big guy if you haven't caught on. He's like 5'3". So give him somebody to protect him. Let him run around. Wills can play left tackle, right tackle, or either guard spot. So right away you're going to get a starter week 1. And somebody that can kind of develop with the young offense. And they don't need to go get CeeDee Lamb. They've already got DeAndre Hopkins, who they traded for. They've got Andy Isabella they drafted last year. Christian Kirk's really good. Hakeem Butler's still a project. So they've got receiving pieces they can work with. I wouldn't force the issue at that spot. So get them offensive line and let them roll.
I understand that. Where are we at, 9 now?
Yeah. So Jacksonville, a team that can move up or down. I think they're going to stand at 9 and take C.J. Henderson, cornerback from Florida. Their defense, their whole team is falling apart. I don't know if you saw the stuff yesterday with Ngakoue.
I did. Tony Khan put him in the sharpshooter.
Yeah.
He called for the bell. It was great.
It's been a mess in Jacksonville since they lost because they trusted Blake Bortles too much. So, I mean, I think it's got to be a front office problem.
With Jan and Khan yesterday, you like how I rhymed that right there? That was off the top. Who do you think ended up coming out looking better in that situation?
If you look at that one by itself, it obviously looks bad on Ngakoue.
It does. It looks terrible.
It looks horrible. But given the recent history of Jalen Ramsey, A.J. Bouye, Calais Campbell, Leonard Fournette, and there's a couple others of guys who left Jacksonville, they have not liked the way the regime's been run there. They've been very vocal about
they got Coughlin and everybody out last year.
Yeah, but it's still, I think ownership could still be an issue. Coaching can be an issue. It's all, to see it persist for so long, I think it's definitely telling of what the organization is doing. And I just think if it was a one-time thing, then yeah, you can probably point to and say maybe Ngakoue's being a little immature, but man, there's just been so much of turmoil coming out of that organization that I'm going to take his side because I have no reason not to. So he wants out. He's probably going to get traded on either on draft night, right after the draft, something. So
I was
he's
going
definitely
to say he certainly hurt his draft or not his draft, his trade value yesterday, didn't he? I mean, he didn't do himself any favors.
I don't think he did himself favors, but that might be what he wanted. It could have been, hey, I'm going to demolish this relationship. I'm going to make my trade value low. That way you guys don't get a good return for me, but I'm not playing for you. So I'm going elsewhere and you're not getting shit for me because I don't want to be here.
Yeah, it's fair, but I mean, I could also see, Tony Khan yesterday, that was a straight body. That is the definition of a body in Twitterverse nowadays.
Yeah.
I could easily see them saying, "No, you can ride the pine the whole year, kid. I mean, you declined 20 milli. go sit the bench, kid." Like, I could see that happening. That was ugly yesterday.
And I mean, it's just been such a weird. I mean, Telvin Smith was another one. He did that. Let's see, after I think it was 2 years ago, he just left the team, didn't play for an entire year. I don't even know if he's back or not yet. I've all over the place with them, but man, it's interesting.
Yeah, and the problem is he got franchise tag, and if you don't play on a tag, you can get tagged again next summer, right?
Yeah, I think you can get tagged twice. So
yeah, and I mean, it's just like, how long are you gonna go without making money in the best money making years of your life? Like, dude turned down a lot of money, and it's like for Le'Veon Bell. I mean, he got his money, but I mean, damn, you know what I mean?
On to that point though, he's at a premier position though. He's an edge rusher in his prime. Somebody's come calling. Somebody's going to offer a decent return for him, and they're going to trust him because he said that, this isn't who I am. I will work with another team. I want to play for somebody else. And this isn't, what I am on Twitter is not who I am in the locker room, anything like that.
Sure.
So, if you get him in the right situation, I think you can definitely make it work with him. I think you can still get plenty of production from him. And I think, he's one of the best pass rushers in the league. He's not going to, if he holds out, there's no way he doesn't play next year. Somebody's going to either trade for him, he's going to get cut, or he's going to sign his tender and prove himself, despite not wanting to be there. I think he's just too good of a talent to pass up at this point.
Yeah, I think he put himself in a tough position because he opened up that door where he was bringing closed door information into the public sphere. And if I was a GM, I wouldn't want that. I don't want that kind of, I don't want to say drama, but I don't want that energy in my locker room if I was a GM. But, for someone who's been as upset as he has for as long of a period as he has, if you got a point, go out there and make it. But, Tony Khan shut him down. It did not look – Jan did not look good yesterday. I chalked that up solid win for Tony Khan and the Jags, but – man, hopefully Jan gets out. I'm totally all for player mobility. I hope that, he can be happy somewhere else. But, man, it did not look good yesterday.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. It's definitely a situation to monitor over the next few days and probably a few weeks if things don't pick up soon. But,
sure.
Yeah, I've got them staying defense. I don't know if edge rusher is necessarily a value for them. I don't think there's a 4-3 edge rusher for them at this spot. So maybe if you look at their pick at pick 20, they can look there. But I really like C.J. Henderson. He's probably the number 2 cornerback in the draft. Go get him in the top 10 and try to get back that form you had with Bouye and Ramsey. But
I like it. Going to the 10th pick of the draft. Who we got?
Cleveland Browns, another trade down spot. They've been rumored to trade back. A lot of talk has been made between Cleveland and Philadelphia making a move so Philly can go up to 10 and get a receiver. It's a dumb move for Cleveland because they're in prime spot to get their offensive tackle that they want, which I gave him Mekhi Becton here.
Yep.
Becton, big dude out of Louisville. He's like 6'7", 380 pounds or something stupid. Stupid athlete. Good feet.
Yeah.
Moves well. Insane run blocker. High floor. You put him at right or left tackle, whichever you want to do with Jack Conklin, You're running the ball all day. Nick Chubb already killed defenses last year. Now you're giving him 2 run-blocking offensive tackles to work with. Shut it down. You don't have to rely on Baker Mayfield like you used to. You don't have to force the ball to Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry. You can just run the ball and let that open up the door. And that's what they're going to want to do because they've got Nick Chubb, obviously. They've already signed 1 right tackle. Their new head coach, Stefanski, loves running the ball. It seems like a match made in heaven for them. So Mekhi Becton to Cleveland seems like a lock if they stay at 10.
If they stay at 10. Well, I like that pick. I got to say, I do like Becton at 10. Pick 11.
Offensive tackle again, Andrew Thomas to the Jets. A lot of people have him as the number one tackle. It's weird because this is the year where offensive tackles 1 through 4 can really go in any order. And I don't think there's really a disagreement with them. They're all kind of, I think I have them basically back to back to back in my board. So can't really go wrong with where they go necessarily. The Jets need an offensive tackle to save their life. They've had no offensive line for what seems like a decade. Sam Darnold, he has enough talent around him. I mean, yeah, they could look at maybe a receiver here, but
I was about to say Robbie Anderson killing it up there in the Meadowlands, man.
Yeah, they've got to go pick up somebody to help them. They've got to get an offensive tackle. And Thomas is probably the best pass protector coming out. I think he might not have the highest floor of any of them, but right now he can make an impact off the edge. So just get him, and hopefully you can keep Darnold healthy and he can grow a little bit.
I like it. Pick number 12.
Oakland Raiders, I've already talked about them maybe moving up to secure. They don't have to worry about it here. They get the first receiver off the board. CeeDee Lamb out of Oklahoma. I think he's a guy that Gruden's going to like. I don't think they're going to go after Judy. I think that they're either down to Lamb and Ruggs. They're either going to want Lamb because of his size and physicality, or they're going to want Ruggs because of his speed. And they need that number 1 receiver ever since they traded Amari Cooper. So go get CeeDee Lamb. You've already got Josh Jacobs. You can rely on Derek Carr for another year. If it doesn't work out, then you can think about moving on. But I really like CeeDee Lamb. He's my number 2 player on my board, so him at 12 is just absurd value. Go get a playmaker right off the bat.
I understand that. Pick number 13.
San Francisco, another receiver. This is where Jerry Jeudy goes.
Kyle
Shanahan really needs that extra weapon. I mean, they have a lot of speed, so that's why I don't think Ruggs makes sense that much sense for them, just because they've got Deebo Samuel. They've still got Jalen Hurd, who's going to make a transition this year, and they lost Emmanuel Sanders. But you can get Jerry Jeudy, put him in the slot, be your number 1 receiver that way. They're going to be tough. They went to the Super Bowl last year. But there's also, I don't think they're going to stay. They have 2 first-round picks, but they don't have any picks between rounds 2 and 5, I think. Or maybe it's 2 through 4, but whatever it is, they're going to have to move back at some point to get more picks. It could be at 13, it could be at 31, but we'll see what happens. But Jerry Jeudy of the Niners is basically, Kyle Shanahan's always wanted Odell Beckham, and he's going to go get a young Odell. So
yeah,
can't be mad at that one.
A little sad there because I was hoping Jeudy would fall back to Philly, but that's all right. We'll see we'll see what Philly picks up. Pick 14.
Tampa Bay, they get kind of lucky here because they need an offensive tackle in the worst way.
Yep.
I mean, their offense is already stupid. They've got the best wide receiver duo in the league with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Rushing attack's okay. Obviously, they got Tom Brady. Defense is young and made a lot of strides last year. Go boost that offensive line, run the ball. I think they're going to go offensive tackle in the first. I gave him Tristan Wirfs out of Iowa. He can play right tackle, and he can block in the run game. It's what they need. And then hopefully when they come back in round 2, they can get one of the top running backs. So maybe Jonathan Taylor will be around. Maybe it'll be DeAndre Swift or J.K. Dobbins. But if they go offensive tackle, running back to back, they're going to be tough.
All right. Well, I like to hear that. 15.
Denver, man, they can go offensive tackle or wide receiver, but I'm going to give them Henry Ruggs.
Okay.
I like that they've got the size on the outside with Tim Patrick and Cortland Sutton. So give him Henry Ruggs to go inside, play in the slot, or move outside. Dude, that slot fade would be deadly. Have Sutton open things up underneath and let Ruggs go deep, mix it up, have Ruggs underneath and draw that safety in to keep him from the winning underneath with speed and let Sutton go up top and win. So they can mix things up a lot with him, give Drew Lock as many options as he can. They've already got a good running backfield. They've got Phillip Lindsay and Melvin Gordon now. They can fix the offensive line later in the draft. Go get your stud wide receiver right now and try to at least be competitive.
Yeah, you're breaking my heart here, kid. Yeah. Boy, I'm getting
Don't
sad.
worry, we got you.
Yeah, so last pick of the first half of Thursday night, 16.
The Atlanta Falcons, they've been saying they want to move up, and I think that's for C.J. Henderson, who went 9. But I'm going to give them Javon Kinlaw. Dominated the Senior Bowl defensive tackle. I believe he measured him with like a 7-foot wingspan, which is absurd on the interior. He can produce a lot of strength up front. He can get into the backfield, good run stopper, but he has enough speed to be a pass rusher. So he's a difference maker in the trenches, and I think at 16, it's pretty solid value for Atlanta.
All righty. Well, 17.
Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
They need corners, they need linebackers, they need wide receivers, and they need safeties.
Do they just forfeit the pick here, or?
I wish. There have been rumors that they want to trade back. There's also been talk that they might surprise everybody and take a wide receiver in the first round. I think that they go Xavier McKinney and get the top safety.
Okay.
They have a good front seven. I don't think the linebacker talk makes a lot of sense with Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch already there. So go get your over-the-top guy. He can come down into the box. He can play in the slot a little bit if you need him to, but play him at deep safety. Let him work, and then hopefully you can find corners later in the draft. But McKinney just seems like it's destined to happen for Dallas.
18.
Miami gets their second pick. They went quarterback early. I didn't like the quarterback. But I'll give him offensive tackle Josh Jones out of Houston. About said Iowa. That would have been bad. Really athletic guy. I've seen a few things this week saying that basically the expectation is that 6 offensive tackles go round 1. Now, there's only 4 offensive tackles that are probably deserving of it. But then there's a handful, probably 4 or 5 guys who are considered developmental upside guys, and they're going to have to start coming off the board. I don't agree with that per se, but Josh Jones, I like him a lot. I think he's a good he can get into space. He can play he can play a swing tackle early in his career. He can kind of go left and right. He can be a backup if they need him to, but really like what he can do in the run game and the screen game. So maybe Miami can make something work with him.
All right. 19.
Raiders, they're making their second pick. Oh, I didn't even realize 18 through 20 are all double ups. Raiders at 19. I gave him Patrick Queen. I've never given him Patrick Queen in a mock. Linebacker out of LSU. I think they might go cornerback here, but Patrick Queen's a pretty proven linebacker coming out of LSU. Probably the best coverage linebacker in the draft. There's Kenneth Murray's probably a better tackler and a run stopper, but you get Patrick Queen out there. He can cover tight ends, he can cover running backs, and he can kind of cover slot receivers as long as speed's not the issue. So I just really like what he can bring to that defense. He gives them an immediate impact player because they don't really have that over the middle. They've got a good young pass rushing core. They've got young corners. They've got a young safety that they can build on. Go get a middle linebacker. They missed out on Devin White last year. Go get his replacement at LSU and Patrick Queen and kind of have that young, quick defense that you kind of need in that division.
I respect it. Pick number 20, the last of the non-playoff teams.
Jacksonville again. I did give him edge rusher here. I went Caleb Von Chase on, another guy out of LSU. This will be the I have 4 straight LSU guys going off the board here, so he's
alert.
Second of the 4, and good pass rusher. He doesn't look like a power guy. He looks like a speed guy off the edge, but he can generate a ton of strength just by kind of keeping his center of balance low. and he can just kind of stride into it. And he's really a menace off the edge. I really like what he can bring. So, and he can drop into coverage if you need him to. I like that. It's a kind of a Swiss Army knife off the edge for Jacksonville.
Respect it. 21.
Philadelphia. Now we're getting another LSU guy, Justin Jefferson, wide receiver.
Okay.
I really like Justin Jefferson. I want the Vikings to get him. I just don't think there's any way in hell he makes it that far.
Yeah.
Very good route runner. Not great, not to the level of Judy or anything like that, but as reliable as it comes across the middle, strong hands, can absorb hits, extends the play, does a great job of coming back to the ball. We saw it a lot last year with Burrow kind of escaping the pocket, looking down the field. Jefferson would find a way to get open, get back towards the line of scrimmage, and make a play. So, good feet on the on the sideline. Really good slot receiver. I really like what he can bring, and I think he's got a lot more upside than he's given credit for.
I respect that. 22.
The Vikings. This is their first pick of the second round. This is the pick they
First
got.
pick of the first round.
Yeah, first pick in the first round.
Yeah.
They got this pick for Stephon Diggs with Buffalo. This is another spot where I think a trade is in play that I don't think they're going to keep 22 and 25. They can move up and go get, if like an offensive lineman or a receiver falls a little bit, they can be aggressive, or they can move back and try to get more picks. But they've already got 12 picks, so I'm kind of curious to see why they would do that. But I gave him Christian Fulton, cornerback, LSU. Here we go, another Tiger. He's a senior, so he's got a lot of experience. He's got a little bit of a red flag in his past with a tampered drug sample. It's been cleared up because I guess he thought it was a weed test, so he tried to use a fake sample, got caught. Turns out it was a steroid test, so it went down as a false PED test. He got a 2-year suspension, got it reduced down to 1, came back, played really well. Invited to the Senior Bowl, but didn't go because the LSU season ran so late because they went to the national championship. But probably the best senior cornerback in this draft. I really like what he can bring. And that's a steal for the Vikings at 22, in my opinion.
I respect it. Getting down to the nitty gritty here in the first round, 23.
Patriots. There's no telling what they're going to do. They're pretty much always a shot in the dark. You mock them a quarterback every year for a decade, hoping somebody can replace Tom Brady, and it never happens. So I'm going to try it again and give him Jordan Love.
All right.
I'm not that high on Love. I think I gave him a second or a third round grade, but I think he goes first round at some point. He's got the arm talent and the mobility. It's just he's got to clean up decision making and processing and just avoid the turnovers. That was a big problem last year.
I mean, Jordan Love's tied for 7th in terms of odds to go number 1. So, I mean, he can't be that bad, you know?
I mean, that's one way to put it.
Yeah, that's fair. 24.
The Saints really wanted them to get Patrick Queen. He would stay in the swamp, or in whatever they call it, the
Bayou.
The Bayou, yeah. I couldn't think of that.
Yeah.
But they don't get him. They can't really afford to trade up because they only have 5 picks in this draft. They still get a good linebacker. They get Kenneth Murray. Sideline to sideline guy, good speed, good tackler, can hit with a force. Go get him, get a run-stopping guy. And because they've got Demario Davis, but he's getting up there in age. You got to get some sort of future replacement in-house. So still a pretty good value for the Saints. I just hate to admit it.
Big Saints fan over there in Shelbyville. 25.
Vikings again. I'm keeping this one. I'm going to go out a little bit bold. I'm going to give them another defensive back. They went Fulton at 22. I'm going to give him Antoine Winfield Jr.
Okay.
He wants to play for the Vikings. He said it. His dad played for the Vikings. One of the Vikings legends. He doesn't really have to play corner or safety. He can kind of just play wherever you want him to. He can play in the nickel, I think. I think right out of the gate, if the Vikings were to take him, he would be starting nickel corner and a backup safety. Kind of when they had like a 6 DB set, he would just be out on the field somewhere, wherever it might be. So, young guy, but I like what he can bring. Just a lot of injury concerns, but I think he's going to be one of the top safeties off the board.
Understand that. Next pick, 26.
The Dolphins. They're going to keep going offense. They went defense and free agency. They're going to go get DeAndre Swift, best running back in the class. They have a good receiving core that's kind of underrated. Go get a running back and try to make something happen. When your team was carried by Patrick Laird and Ryan Fitzpatrick in the run game, and I know you're saying who, because so am I. Yeah, it's tough. You've got to get somebody, and DeAndre Swift can make that. I mean, he can open the offense up a little bit, and I mean, you're getting an offensive tackle that he can work with, a young quarterback he can bond with. Why not? Just go all in and try to just run the ball. Try to get. I mean, he can run. He can help in the pass game. Just mix it up a little bit. Have some fun. You've got 3 picks. Might as well have one of them be good.
Oh, that's funny. I appreciated that, even if these other cats didn't. 27.
Seattle, they like to trade back. They move back a lot. I'm going to give them Austin Jackson, offensive tackle out of USC. Another one of those upside guys, project piece, but they've needed an offensive tackle forever. They can just have better offensive line play and stay healthy up front. They could run the ball down everybody's throat. They just haven't been able to put it together. So why not just keep trying? They can afford it. They've been good with regardless. Imagine how good they would be if they had an offensive line. I mean, it's just help Russell Wilson. That's all you need to do.
That's fair. Super fair. So now we're getting to the last 5 picks of the first round. This is where you start to get a little bit of strategy comes into play here. You got that 5th-year option starting to come into play. You know, these teams, some of the more successful teams in the league, you got teams that have played in either the title games or the Super Bowl. So, you know, maybe not as many holes to fill as the people that went earlier than them. 28.
28 Baltimore. They seem like they're in position to get one of the top linebackers. Kenneth Murray's been kind of linked to them every mock draft up until this point, but he's already gone. So I gave him Denzel Mims. They go wide receiver back-to-back years in the first round. Mims is a 6'3 guy, but he ran a 4.39 40. Got good size. He uses his arms well as a receiver. He has a good arm bar. He showed it off at the Senior Bowl. He just kind of gets it underneath, kind of hides it a little bit, but is able to push off with his upper body a little bit without it being blatantly obvious. So I'm high on him. I think I have him going in the first round, pretty much wherever you want to look at it. But he would be a really good piece next to Marquise Brown and just kind of give Lamar Jackson one more option. And speaking of Lamar Jackson, congratulations to him on the Madden 21 cover.
Yeah, congrats.
He announced today that he's going to get it. So hopefully that curse goes away for good because Mahomes already debunked it last year. So let's keep it away. And
yeah. It's always nice to see a Louisville guy get the cover of the.
Teddy B should have had it first, but I digress.
I mean, no qualms for me on that. No qualms for me. 29.
29, the Titans. They are a team where you could say hypothetically they could go running back. If they want to let Derrick Henry run this year, get him a backup who's going to kick ass as a spell guy, and then move on from Henry after his tag expires. But I just don't think that makes a lot of sense for them because they lost Jack Conklin. I'll give him Isaiah Wilson, the offensive tackle out of Georgia.
Yeah.
He can play right tackle right now. He's just not polished by any means. He's not a great pass protector, but he's a really good run blocker. And given what they want to do in that offense, it's pretty much as good as you can get at this point in the draft. You're getting a good value for what you want to do. He's not that high on my board. I think he's in my 70s, but fit's a huge thing. And I think that'd be a pretty solid, it'd be like a B+ grade for me. So I would live with that if I was a Tennessee fan.
Well, thankfully I'm not, so I don't have to worry about it. So pick number 30.
Green Bay Packers. They've got some needs on offense. That is loud. I'll give him Jalen Reagor, the wide receiver out of TCU. Gives them a ton of speed and an explosive weapon on the offense. So give Devontae Adams a bit of help on the outside because he can't do it all forever. Regardless of Marquez Valdes-Scantling calling himself the 5th greatest wide receiver of all time, he's not really. It'd be to say he's the 5th best receiver on his team. So, I mean, I'll take Jalen Reagor right now and just give them a weapon. I don't care how they use them, but get somebody to help Devontae Adams.
Super respect that. Super Bowl loser. The 49ers are in this pick, right?
Yeah, this is their this is their original pick. So pick 13 they got from the Colts. I gave them Grant Delpit here just because I didn't like the value of any of the corners. They already went wide receiver. They've put Jaquiski Tartt on the trade block. He's their kind of their box safety. Grant Delpit could fill that role immediately. He can play deep safety, but I like him in the box. He has to clean up his tackling issues, and I think going to a team who's got a good front seven already in place, you can kind of afford to take this risk and try to get an instant playmaker on defense.
Hey, I respect it. Super respect it, actually. Super Bowl winner, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, there was a report yesterday that they were looking to trade up for Henry Ruggs, which would be absurd. I just don't think it's possible. But man, they'd be so fast on offense. I was talking to Kellen about it yesterday. It's like they could get him and have Mecole Hardman, Tyreek Hill, and Henry Ruggs, and Mahomes would just drop back like 30 times a game. That's all he would need. He'd only be on the field for 30 plays. And just chuck deep balls, 4 verts. You're not covering all 4 of them down the field. You're not covering Kelsey underneath either. So, yeah. But they didn't get him. So I gave him Cesar Ruiz, an interior offensive lineman from Michigan. Offensive line was a big issue for them that was kind of underrated last year, that a lot of people kind of looked past it because they were so successful, but they need to shore up the inside. Mitchell Schwartz is still a really good offensive tackle, but they need to get help on the interior. Cesar Ruiz is the best interior guy in this class. Go get him. 32 is not a bad value for him. And you got to protect Mahomes. He got hurt twice last year. You can't really afford to let him take any big hits or risk that injury any further. So,
all right, that is the first round for Thursday, barring no trades.
Yeah,
barring no trades, that's where Luke thinks everybody's going to go. So we've kind of covered a little bit of this throughout the day. We're going to talk a little bit more about it right now. These are some of the prop bets that you can find right now on DraftKings.com. A couple of these we've already talked about in terms of where people are going to be picked. One of these that I kind of like, you might not like it, which is cool. I mean, you don't have to like it, but I want to run it by you real quick. Where did I see that at? Draft props. All right, so first 3 wide receivers drafted. This is in order. What order did you go in? You went Lamb, Judy, Ruggs, right?
Yeah.
All right, so that's plus 350. That is tied with Judy, Lamb, Ruggs right now. Outside of those 2 combinations, do you see any other combination happening?
Yeah, there's still a chance that Henry Ruggs is the first guy off the board. If the Raiders really like his speed as compared to what they would get out of Lamb,
yeah,
I could definitely see it being Ruggs at 12, Judy at 13, and then, or even I would probably say it would be Ruggs at 12, Lamb at 13, and then Judy would fall to 15 to Denver. But then that's when probably at 14, Tampa Bay's fielding offers from Philadelphia, from Minnesota, from Jacksonville might want to move up. Jacksonville could also take a receiver at 9. That's another thing to keep in mind. But there's definitely possibilities of, it's hard to guess at what's going to happen with those receivers.
I was about to say Ruggs, Lamb, and Judy in order plus 600. That's pretty good value on my street. You know what I mean? Yeah. First 3 running backs drafted. Now, we only went 1 running back in the first round, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, looking through the rest of your mock, you had Swift as the first running back off your board, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, who's your second one coming off?
I believe it is Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor. And who's going number 3?
Ooh. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I think, is most likely to go 3.
Okay. That's plus 600. The favorite right now is Swift, Taylor, and Dobbins. The second most favorite is Swift, Dobbins, and Taylor. Plus 600. I mean, if you guys want money, we're giving it right to you. This is you're not getting this anywhere else, folks.
I personally would take Dobbins over Edwards-Helaire, but I think the league likes Edwards-Helaire a lot more.
Got it. All right, so looking at picks by school, total Alabama players to be drafted in the first round. You had
4.
Over under is 5.5. That's a heavy under.
4. Hang on.
I was going to say that would be a pretty solid under bet on that, wouldn't it?
I forgot Tua. That's 5.
Got it. Who would be 6? Who would be the 6th one off the board if they did it?
Trevon Diggs. If I had to guess. Let's see, it'd be Tua, Jedrick Wills, CeeDee Lamb. No, God damn it, not CeeDee Lamb. Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, Xavier McKinney. Yeah, and then it would be Trevon Diggs would be the 6.
Oh, so would you go over or under in that if you're including all the trades and everything going on?
I'd go under.
You're going under. Under's the favorite, minus 121. I kind of like that. I like that. Now, this next one, this one's going to be a little closer. Total LSU players to be drafted in the first round. You had 5, right? You had Burrow at 1 and then 4 from 18 to 21. Or 19 to 22, I mean.
Yeah, but there was more. Hang on. Burrow. Man, I can't read. That's 5. And then Grant Delpit, so 6.
Okay, 6. The over-under on this is 5.5. You have 6 going in the first round. That is plus 235.
Yeah. I'm not confident Grant Delpit goes first round because he dropped off so bad this year, but I still think if I had to... Man, that's tough. That's a lot tougher than Alabama. I'll take the over, I guess.
You're going to take the man. Over's got good money on it right now, plus 235.
Got to be risky a little bit.
I was about to say, man, life's too short to bet the under. Life is too short to bet the under. So we've said. Then let me ask you this. School to have the most players drafted in the first round. Alabama or LSU. This one's pretty clear cut, ain't it?
Yeah, it's LSU.
They're plus 190. They are the underdogs in that bet.
Interesting. I wonder who they... Because I'm not even confident Xavier McKinney's a guy that goes first round just because of positional value.
See, they got Alabama at minus 240. I mean, they
must be really banking on Trevon Diggs going first round because I don't think that happens.
I was about to say that's a probability of like 70%. You know?
Yeah,
that's wild. That is crazy wild. Let's take a look here. There's some other ones here real quick. Picks by conference. Total ACC players drafted in the first round.
ACC?
Yeah.
Let's see. 1. Louisville's in the ACC, right?
They are.
I've got 2.
You got 2.
Yeah.
So the over under on this 3.5.
Interesting.
Yeah. Under is the favorite.
I'm missing somebody in the ACC, but I don't. I mean Becton and Simmons, but that's all I can think of. I don't think T. Higgins goes first round.
Yeah, I mean, my under is minus 286. So, I mean, that's a pretty heavy favorite there. Total Big Ten players drafted in the first round.
Oof. You got 2 right off the bat. Ruiz is 3. Uh, 4. At 4.
You have 4. Over under is 5.5. Under is
Damn,
the favorite on that. Or no, under is the underdog. Plus
I'm hammering
108.
that under. I don't think there's that many guys in the Big Ten that are going to go high at all.
Really?
Yeah,
Minus one.
there's not a quarterback.
Yeah, minus 108. That's pretty good. That's pretty good value if you only have 4.
They must be really thinking J.K. Dobbins is going first round because there's no way I'm getting even close.
Even if they put Dobbins in the first round, that still puts him in the under.
Yeah, and I'm not even confident Antoine Winfield goes first round.
Man,
that's one I counted. That is
plus 108.
No, hang on. I'm telling you, I'm so bad at understanding this. I should have written this out better. Tristan Wirfs is from Iowa. That's 1. I look over Iowa guys so often. So I mean that's still super close to the line. I would still take the under.
I mean, plus 108. I mean, that's pretty tempting. I mean, if you're looking for plus money, I mean that's slight plus money, but that's still plus money. Total Big 12 players drafted first round.
Big 12. Whew. Let's see. What's the line at?
3.5.
One. Two. Who else is it? 3. 4. Over.
4. You're going the over. The over is the dog in this one, plus 118. So I mean that's pretty good. This one should be pretty easy for you to figure out. Total Pac-12 players drafted first round. You got Herbert at 5.
Austin Jackson at 27. That's 1. Pac-12. Man, because there's a cornerback from Utah, Jalen Johnson. He might be a sneaky pick for the Niners at 31. Man, I don't like it. I only have 2.
2. Over under is it's 2.5. So
that's a tough one because I mean, yeah, there's a lot of different ways it can go.
I was about to say over 2.5 is plus money right now. It's plus 130. So I mean, people are kind of leaning the way you are. If they're going to go cornerback, they're at 31.
Yeah.
This one's going to take a little bit more time for you to figure out. Total SEC players drafted in the first round.
What's the line? Like 14?
15.5.
Jesus. All right.
Heavy line.
Dude, it'd be easier to count the ones that aren't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Holy shit. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
17. Over is plus money. Plus 130.
Man. Yeah, the SEC's tough. I mean, if you look at, I think my draft board, I think like half of my top 20 is LSU and Alabama.
That's wild.
And you mix in the Auburn guys, it gets even tough. I mean, it's crowded.
Yeah, it's wild. That is wild. I believe I saw you have, 5 receivers being taken in the first round?
6.
You have 6?
Yeah. Mims, Rager, and Jefferson went with the top 3 guys.
So the over-under on that is 5.5.
Yeah, that's a tough one because it's really tough to figure out what the Packers are going to do.
Man, some of these...
I would take the over, though.
Yeah, they got the lines on these really, really good. I mean, I think they've kind of nailed these, actually.
Yeah.
Do you have a tight end going first round or anywhere close to the first round?
No.
Well,
not a great year for the tight ends.
So these are going to be kind of interesting. So players to be drafted first. These are head-to-head matchups. Jerry Jeudy versus Henry Ruggs, two teammates.
Man, I would put my money on Jeudy, but I wouldn't touch that bet because it just depends on who wants who.
Really?
Yeah, because I think there's a really good chance Ruggs is
So-
the first guy off the board. He could go 4 if the Niners or if the Raiders wanted to move up. If the Raiders like, hey, let's go get our guy, let's trade up to 4 so nobody takes him. I could 100% see that being an option. So I just don't like it.
Well, Jeudy is a minus 225 favorite, so that's pretty solid. J.K. Dobbins, Claire Edwards-Helaire.
Clyde goes first.
He is plus money. He is the dog in that matchup.
Yeah, I don't like him, but man, he's just his his catching ability is going to put him up. He's going to go ahead of him. I just don't see it not happening.
So these guys, I think these are day 2 guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. Zach Bond, Ross Blacklock.
Damn, dude, these are tough. 'Cause I don't have Bond graded very highly at all, but he's a guy who could go at the end of the first round and play off-ball linebacker, but he also could go top of the second round to a team like the Colts Cincinnati could use him as a versatile piece on their front seven. Ross Blacklock's a lot more limited as a player, so I would put my money on Bond.
They're both minus money. It is almost dead even. 106
Blacklock's
to 105.
a better player, but he just doesn't have as much of a role because he's just an interior rusher, so it's going to be different. But, man.
Jeff Gladney, Jalen Johnson.
Jeff Gladney.
Really?
Me, yeah.
It's even money.
Really?
Even
I would
money on that.
Jeff Gladney in a heartbeat. But
Jacob Eason, Jalen Hurts.
Jacob Eason, not close.
Really? Well, they kind of agree with you. Minus 143 to plus 118. AJ Epineza. I hope I'm saying that right. And Yetur Gross-Matos.
Man, give me Gross-Matos.
Really?
I don't know.
Well, he's the favorite. He's the favorite in that matchup. I believe this one should be pretty easy. Derek Brown and Javon Kinlaw.
Yeah, Derek Brown.
He's super heavy favorite. I didn't even think that was going to be a question. Cesar Ruiz, Ezra Cleveland.
God, dude, they are just killing it. Ezra Cleveland, he's going to go round 1. He's not going to be deserving of it, yeah.
He is plus money, and it's significant plus money, plus 144.
Really? I think he's going to be a guy that sneaks into the first round because of positional value, but...
And just for... I define significant plus money as more than plus 125, just because it's hard to be considered even money or even work close to that after plus 125. Denzel Mims, T. Higgins.
Mims. I think Mims is the first round guy. I think Higgins is top of round 2.
I like it. They agree with you. Minus 167 on Mims. Jalen Reagor and Brandon Ayuk.
God. Dude, they couldn't have picked a tougher group to choose. I have Reagor going, so I'll stick with him, but
he is
close.
He is plus money against Ayuk right now. Plus money. Kenneth Murray, Patrick Queen.
Patrick Queen.
He is plus money.
I think he's better. Oh, man, they did say today though that that Kenneth Murray hasn't received a bad word from any team in the league. But I just think Queen can fit a lot more. He can do a lot more for a defense, so he can fit a lot of different schemes. Whereas Kenneth Murray's a bit more limited in that regard. So I guess give me Queen, but I'm not super confident in that one.
All right. So this one's going to be a little different. These are to be drafted anywhere in the top 10. Okay. Mekhi Becton, plus 100. Good or bad value?
Good value because the Browns.
All right. You think he is going top 10?
Yeah.
All right. Javon Kinlaw.
No.
Outside the top 10.
Yeah.
Okay. CeeDee Lamb.
God. Yes. I think he does.
He goes in the top 10.
Yeah, I think he's traded for.
Wow. Okay. AJ Terrell.
In the top 10?
They've got him plus 500 at pretty decent odds compared to some of these cats.
Yeah, I'm not taking him in the top 10. I would want his odds to be that high. I don't even think he goes. It's close if it goes first round.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's see if we can find him right now. He doesn't have that special on him. Tristan Wirfs.
The Giants screw this up because it's them who this comes down to. I'll say yeah, because there's enough value up there for him.
Well, I was about to say he's minus 400, so an 80% implied probability he goes in the first 10. Andrew Thomas.
No, I think he goes 11.
He is minus money. He is predicted by the public to go in the first 10. CJ Henderson.
Yeah.
He goes top 10. He's plus money. Plus money on that. Jedrick Wills or Jedrick Wills.
Yeah.
He goes top 10.
Yeah.
Wow.
Get 4 offensive tackles in the top 10. I don't care. Let's do it.
All right. Well, he's minus 500. So I mean, he's 83.3% implied probability. Isaiah Simmons.
Yeah.
Goes first. So he's got over 90%. Derek Brown.
Yeah, but he's the questionable one just because of
really.
Because there's so many other guys going up there, it's going to kind of somebody has to fall out of it.
That's true. He's minus 1,000 on this though, so I mean it's a very boy, I don't know. Jalen Hurts, he's got some draft specials. Which round will the player be drafted in?
Second.
Second round is minus 177. So
yeah,
that's his favorite.
Most likely he's going between picks 50 and 60. So.
Okay. I mean, I respect it. I mean, these other cats might not, but I do. Let's see here. First defensive player drafted. That should be a very easy.
Oh man, I was like, it's either a Simmons or a Kuda. No, it's
Chase Young. Yeah, he's minus 10,000. Second defensive player drafted.
Okudah.
He's minus 167, so he's predicted to go that way. Second offensive player drafted.
God. Who's the money on?
Top money is on Jedrick Wills, plus 125.
Damn, dude. I hate the Giants because it's them who's going to make this decision. Tristan Wirfs.
He is the fourth favorite on this, plus 600. So, I mean, that's some big money to be made right there. Big money. Let's see here. Pick by position. I think we've already done that one. First round, we've done that as well. So let's see here. Let's go cornerback, since you've done a lot of work on cornerbacks. First quarterback drafted, you've done Jeffrey Okudah on that. Second cornerback drafted.
CJ Henderson.
Minus 500, so many people agree with you on that. They don't have a third one on that for whatever reason. First safety drafted.
I mocked Xavier McKinney, but it could honestly be either Antoine Winfield or Jeremy Chin.
Okay. Okay.
So I
Big
would
money to be made on those.
because there's money to be made, I would take that chance and put it on one of them just for.
Well,
I think I did. I think when I went through my gambling stuff the other day, I think I picked Antoine Winfield as my top safety. So.
I was getting ready to say Chin plus 700, Winfield Jr. plus 1,200.
So they have Chen over Winfield.
Yeah, they've got Delpit at plus 400 and then McKinney at minus 305.
Yeah, McKinney seems like the obvious pick, but I wouldn't be surprised if a team like Miami gets Antoine Winfield.
Let's see here. The receivers, you got your top three. They're all pretty much Judy and Lamb's plus 110 apiece. Ruggs is plus 300. And then there's a very steep drop off after that. Let's see here. Are done players to be drafted first? All right, so these are players to be drafted anywhere in the first round. Okay, so let me know what you think here. Jordan Love.
Yeah.
First round, minus 500 odds. Ezra Cleveland.
Yeah.
Minus 200. People agree with you on there. Trevon Diggs.
No, I think he's very top of the second.
Minus 200 to go first round on him. Jeff Gladney.
Yes.
Minus 121. Laviska Shenault Jr.
No.
Plus 125. Zach Bond.
Yeah.
He is plus 110, so almost even money on that. Grant Delpit.
No.
Plus 121.
It's just so funny because like all the ones I'm saying, I'm like, oh yeah, the exact opposite of what I picked.
Lloyd Cushenberry III.
No.
That's a great name, by the way.
It is. Another LSU guy. That could boost that stat up a little bit.
That's true. That is true. Willie Jr. Gay.
You want to try that again?
It's exactly what it has written here. Willie Jr. Gay.
Well, it's Willie Gay Jr. Yeah, I don't see him going first round.
He's plus 500, so I don't blame you there. Let's see here. Anybody else? Damon Arnett. We haven't talked about him yet.
Ooh. No, but he's close.
Really?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
Man. He could go mid-30s probably.
Mid-30s. Well, I mean, you gotta go early 30s to be a
Yeah.
first rounder. So, DeAndre Swift.
Yeah.
Okay. Jalen Johnson.
No, but barely.
No, but barely. Okay. Cesar Ruiz.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Some of these you've already mentioned. They actually go higher than what you predicted. Like Austin Jackson.
Yeah.
He goes first round. Justin Jefferson, Kenneth Murray. Some of these just seem like locks. So yeah, those are kind of those are the big ones in terms of picks. So
yeah, and don't get all mad at me when I didn't hit any of these. They have said I saw a thing from GMs were saying like, oh, we've seen the mock drafts and a lot of people are off because this is just a tough year to predict. Obviously, with the circumstances around it, it's already a mess. But this draft class is so special that it makes it so tough to even think because there's so much value at so many different positions where it's a team can really go in any direction and it would help their team. So
sure.
It'll be a very fun Thursday night. I can't wait for it.
Yeah. Are you periscoping on Thursday?
I might.
That's what we like to hear.
I'll think about it. I'll let you guys know before.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We appreciate it a lot. Well, I mean, we've kind of ran through everything draft-wise today. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, not that I know of. I think it's just time to start preparing for Thursday. Man, I'm excited though. Like I don't know what to expect. It's gonna be. I can't wait for the technical issues and the teams forfeiting picks and players like or not muting their mics and letting everybody know what they want to do and getting screwed out of their pick. It's just going to be a blast. I can't wait. So
I'm excited for it. I'm excited. Oh,
if you
goodness.
guys want me on Periscope, just let me know. Slide in my DMs, hit me in the comments, do whatever. If you guys have questions and stuff, I'll hop on. But
hey, I respect it. I super respect it. Well, I mean, I think that's all we got for this week. Got some good content out there, and I don't know. We'll see what happens Thursday night.
Yep, can't wait. Hopefully this was. Hopefully you guys can make some money off of it. But
Yeah,
I know I want
to. Might be the last opportunity to do so for a while. So
yeah,
take advantage of what
NBA draft.
Super fair. Super fair. Well, guys, I think that's going to do it today. My nose is running like a Coke user, so I got to go figure all that out. Get some antihistamines in the system, if you know what I'm saying. So I guess we'll see you back here. If not later this week, we'll see you back here early next week. And
yes, sir.
Like I said, go check out Saturday's pod where we had Luke and Jared on. Tell some interesting stories there. And be sure to like and subscribe down below. So once again, congratulations to Luke hitting 1 million total viewers. We'll try to get him up to 8 figures soon, and we'll go on from there. So anything else you want to say?
Nah, just thanks for the little support, little shout out, and then I'll keep content coming as long as I can. So
yeah,
I look forward to it. Hopefully I'll have more stuff coming out after the draft about what to expect from the draft class, and get back to you guys as soon as we can and try to get some shit popping. So
all right, sounds good, guys. Well, we're out of here. You guys have a great week, and we'll see you back here soon. All right.
Yep. Peace out, fellas. We will chat at you in the future. Bye.